Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Today we are in Clearwater, Florida, and today is going to be a very special video because I'm not showing you just one location, I'm showing you two. There were two very, very famous celebrity neighbors right here in this neighborhood, but today we're going to focus on the home of actress Kelly Preston and her husband John Travolta. Now, actress Kelly Preston and John Travolta lived in the house just down the street here for quite a few years, and their neighbor was none other than Kirstie Alley. Now, I'm going to show you the best that I can of both of these houses. Now, the weird thing is that Kelly Preston passed away in her home over here, and Kirstie Alley also passed away in her home just next door. Now let's first talk about Kelly Preston. She was a really amazing actress on her own before she ever met John Travolta, but once the two of them got married, they became one of Hollywood's most loved couples. And Kelly Preston, she was first seen in the movie Mischief. She was in Secret Admirer. She was in Twins with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. For the Love of the Game with Kevin Costner, Jerry Maguire, Nothing to Lose. But she was a very good actress, started her career very young. She started off as a model and became an actress. She was in several very well-known relationships with people like George Clooney and Charlie Sheen. But her best relationship was obviously with John Travolta. Now, they had 3 kids together. One of them, Jet, passed away sadly, I think in 2009. I believe he had a seizure, and it was just a very tragic thing. But this is the home right here that John Travolta shared with Kelly Preston. And we're kind of lucky because this gate is usually never open. I'll show you guys a couple of pictures from inside the house. This house did sell in 2021 for $4 million, but it was in this home that Kelly Preston actually passed away. Now, she was diagnosed 2 years previous with breast cancer. They kept it private, didn't really tell anybody. It never made the media. She passed away here in this house July 12th of 2020 at the age of only 57. Now, this is kind of an interesting neighborhood because there's only a couple of, I guess you could call them mansions on the water side, but on the other side of the street are just very common homes and apartments. So a lot of people here probably, I don't even know if they knew that they had their famous neighbors here, but this is where John Travolta and Kelly Preston hung up their hat when they were in Clearwater. Now here's what the home looked like on the outside. These are photos that were taken from a real estate listing when the house was on the market. Now, John Travolta ended up selling this house in 2021 for $4 million. And as you guys can see, this is a beautiful house. This is someplace that I would definitely like to live if I could ever afford it. It had ocean, or at least bay views. On the other side of Clearwater is the ocean, but this is the view of the backyard that they would have had, a beautiful pool. So just a very beautiful home. And this was conveniently located right by downtown. Now, I know a lot of people are going to ask, where is Kelly Preston's grave located? Well, there isn't one. Kelly Preston was cremated, and the ashes, I would assume, would still belong to John Travolta. Nobody really knows. That's not something that they made public, which you can understand why. John Travolta is one of the nicest guys in Hollywood, one of the nicest guys you can ever meet. But he did keep a fair amount of things private when it came to Kelly Preston's passing, and you can understand that. That was his wife, it was the love of his life, and I could understand that. Now, this is the next door neighbor's house, and this was the home of Kirstie Alley. Now, Kirstie Alley and Kelly Preston and John Travolta, they were all very, very good friends. And if you guys wondered or heard about the lemurs that Kirstie Alley had, they were kept on this property. The last time I went by this house about a year ago, the lemurs were still on the property. Today, they're sadly gone. Now, Kirstie Alley was also living in Clearwater, Florida for quite a while. And whether you guys appreciate it or not, they were all Scientologists. Clearwater, Florida is pretty much the Scientology capital. They have a ton of buildings in the downtown area, and that was a part of their life. But Kirstie Alley's house, it's not this one over here, but I'll show you it as soon as I can get a view. But Kirstie Alley bought this house from none other than Lisa Marie Presley. She owned this house originally. This house was on the market for a while. I believe it has since sold, but I'll show you from the back because that's the only place that you can get a view. But this right here was the final home of Kirstie Alley. She passed away in this house in 2022 at the age of 71. She was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and her life didn't last too much longer after that. But it's kind of a sad ending to a couple of Hollywood legends and just some really, really nice people from everything I've heard. But she would have had a beautiful view out here. Now, they only lived a couple of miles away from the famous Pier 60 and the world-famous beaches of Clearwater, Florida. Now, it is a very beautiful area to come and visit, and Kelly Preston and John Travolta and Kirstie Alley were not the only celebrities that lived in Clearwater. Now, we're not too far away from the home of Hulk Hogan. He still lives in Clearwater Beach. He has a bar and restaurant called Hogan's Hangout on the main drag, and you can often see him riding around on a golf cart down the street. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and maybe learned a couple of things about the life of Kelly Preston and the neighbor Kirstie Alley. But it is a very beautiful place here in Clearwater Beach. I highly recommend you visiting if you ever get the chance. There are a lot of celebrities and a lot of other stories in this area that I'll share with you guys very, very soon. Now, I also did a video on Kirstie Alley about a year ago that I'll link right up here on the top of your screen. But thanks so much for watching, everybody, and have a great day.